y'all, I'm James Wright and welcome to my shop. I recently did an interview with Christopher Schwarz at lostartpress. My daughter and I went down to his shop and shot a bunch of that, but we did do a tour, actually toured the facility as well as where they do the books and the sale, and it was a fun tour. So I figured let's bring you along for it and go take a look at lostartpress.
Yeah, so this is the bench room here at lostartpress. And this was a bar for the whole period from about 1890 until we bought it about 10 years ago. So you're looking at the back bar back there, which is original to the building. So it was a German bar and fancy grocery, a couple murders here, as all bars have. We haven't had any murders since, thank goodness. But so yeah, this became our bench room. We ripped out pretty much everything. It was a jazz bar, it was a wine bar, it had been every different kind of bar. And bars are very hard on buildings. So we ripped it out except for the back bar and kind of had been taking it back to its 1890 appearance as best we can suss out. Wall of tools back there is so that we need them, but we also couldn't stand to look at ourselves in the mirror. Like all woodworkers, we're not like, hopefully not too obsessed with ourselves, but sometimes we do catch a glimpse of ourselves and it's absolutely horrible. So here, we run classes sometimes. That's kind of winding down for us now because of insurance reasons, but so we have the whiteboard, which we also use for, of course, drawing cats. And then all the workbenches, which are as much an experiment in workbenches, because that's something I've been writing about for a long time, as they are the stuff that we use for classes and for ourselves for furniture making. So we try to keep a minimal amount of machine work here. Really only bandsaws. That's the machine we use the most. But mostly this is a hand tool room. We try to keep it, hand tool work is not quiet, but we try to keep it not machine oriented. So pretty much everything that goes in here is the joinery and the assembly and everything from there.
You said you're winding down the classes in here?
Yeah, so we've been doing classes here for about 10 years, and our third insurance company has canceled our insurance, and the whole insurance industry is going through like a big shakeup because of the California fires a couple of years ago. So we had no claims. No one's really hurt themselves here. So it was really hard for us to get insurance, so we just have put that on the back burner for a while. We're mostly a publishing company, and I make furniture, and we make tools, and so the classes were always kind of a secondary thing. Yeah.
I like with all the raking light, it's great for the pictures.
It's great, not in the morning so much, because this is a publishing company, so you don't want the harsh light. So we have scrims that come down, and the mornings are really tough for us, so we usually don't shoot until the afternoon when the sun moves over here, and then everything's diffuse. But this old-fashioned glass up here is really great. It's called prism glass, and it pulls the light from, even when the sun's not here, out all the way to the back of the room. So this is really a great place for photography. Just right now it's a little harsh. So other stuff that's going on. We have, these are the apprentice benches. So we have two apprentices. Kale, who's sick today, is working on their 4th apprenticeship chair when they'll finish their apprenticeship. This is their design and has to start and just completely from them. And then my daughter, Catherine, is starting her apprenticeship, and this is her first chair. So you're seeing the beginning and the end. One of the other things they have to do is build tool chests. So they both built Dutch chests. Kale built this green one, and Catherine, of course, built the black one with the cat stickers on it, because that's fully Catherine. Those are the apprentice benches, and they like being up there so they can chat and have lots of light. This is my bench, which is basically a roubeau, but made with construction lumber, which is my thing, which I've always liked. But this is a very simple bench, and I've always really preferred just kind of the basic stuff. Bench crafted hardware is the real fancy part of it, but really I think I've spent about $300 on lumber for it, maybe $350. Nicholson bench. Built this one in 2006. And we have a Moravian, we have a bench crafted, we have everything. Old bench I built in 2001, another Roubeau that Megan built, and then back here we have our, I guess, since Megan and I are apprentices, we're something else. But yeah, this is Megan's tool chest. So both kind of English joiner style chests, built, all by hand, pretty much is what we do, except for the surfacing. So all hand cut dovetails, and of course Megan likes fancy nickel hardware and all that. But that's her chest, and she built that many years ago. And then lots of tool chests here, of course. And then this is mine. This is sort of the third tool chest I've worked out of, and built this one last year. But this is all, what you would expect in a joiner's chest from England in the 18th and 19th century. And I work out of it every day. People think it might be an anachronism, but I really like having my tools in kind of a surgical suite. And has served me well. I've worked out of a tool chest since the 1990s. But we have other chests here that other people might find interesting. This is a boarded tool chest. We keep some student tools in here. This is all nailed together with dovetails, and it survived, not nailed together with cut nails, not dovetails. And it survived really well for the last 10 years. This is a nail cabinet that I built. There's a copy of Roy Underhill's that was on his set for a million years. And so this is where we keep all of our little hardware, well, some of it, but, and then, which is a fun piece. And then over here is a Swedish tool chest. So we have all the nationalities, Swedish, English, and Dutch. And this is the student tools. A lot of these were donated by either customers of mine, furniture customers of mine, or for, sometimes other students have donated those. So that's kind of the Swedish variant, which is a lot of fun. So it's nice for students to come in and see a lot of different benches, a lot of different tool chests, figure out what they like, or if they like none of it, figure out their own thing. So this is pretty much the bench room, and has been like this for about 10 years.
Very cool. No cap stickers on your chest?
Yeah, my last chest was absolutely, completely filled with stuff. And so I just finished this chest for the revision of the Anarchist Tool Chest book, and I haven't had a chance to really deck it out. It will have, I'm sure I will not be able to resist. As you can see, you love stickers, and I guess, it's like going to the dentist, and then you get your Be Good sticker, so we put them up there.
Oh, look, those casters.
Yeah, those are old vintage casters. There's a guy on the internet who restores casters and sells them by the set very reasonably. I think it's all called Iconic Iron and Oddities on Instagram. So we buy all our casters because I really don't like plastic. Plastic is not my friend. You have to have plastic in medical implants and stuff, but for woodworking, I try to keep the plastic to a minimum. Yeah, but it happened.
I love the collection of benches. That's something that sings to me, because anytime you go into one place, everything's the same. You're just teaching that method, that type, and people to experiment and see what they like.
Yeah, we have benches with tail vices, we have benches without tail vices, benches with quick release, benches with leg vices, sliding dead men and women. And so, yeah, when students come, they always want to try out all the benches, and they're like, oh, I've never seen, a split top. And so they can play around with the split top on Megan's bench, or they've never seen a crisscross, the St. Peter's cross hardware, or have never used a parallel guide on a bench, on a leg vise, to see if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So yeah, this is as much an experimental room as it is a functioning bench room. So we're always trying out new stuff. We like to say every day we learn something old, and that's kind of what we're after. Go through first. This is the library. I'll turn on some lights here. So when this was a bar, this was like the keno room and the kitchen, and I don't know what else. There was a big pool table here. It was a real mess. It's still a real mess because we have people working back here. But this is Megan's bench where she does a lot of her publishing activities. And pretty much every piece of furniture here we've made, except for a couple antiques. And then this is our library, which is this is part of our library. So when you're a publishing house, a lot of times what you're doing is looking back at the furniture record, what's been published before, how they did it, what are, citing people's sources, us citing sources, who did this first, does this appear in the literature at all, or is it total junk? And so I spend a lot of money and time working on the library and working in the library. So we have books here from the 1600s up until current day. We also have another collection over at the warehouse of the older stuff. But here we have everything from Filet Bien, from 1673, an original. We have Roubaud, L'Art de Menuisier from the 1700s, all the way up to, I think we have Tommy Mack, T-Chisel up there somewhere from very modern times. And so we try to keep, because we've all been in publishing, we like to see what's going on and what has gone on. So I love books, obviously. I'm in publishing, so we have a lot of those. And then, they've kind of spilled over here, but this is also my record collection somehow has just ended up down here, which is, par for the course. And then, tools and everything are stuffed everywhere, which is, just what happens when you run a company that makes tools or has to use tools all the time. We try not to have them stack up too much. This thing is the funniest thing I think we have. This is, everybody's sick, so it's nice and quiet here. But this is an old, I think it's it's Swedish drafting table that I have turned into our, where we do all our publishing. And what I really love about it is that it's height adjustable like a barber chair. So you can move this up and down. And it still stays like absolutely completely stable, which is really funny. So so I restored that, having to learn about hydraulics and stuff to get that, and see if I can make it go down here. So come on. No, it doesn't want to go down. It has to go all the way back. Yeah, cameras. There we go. No. There it goes. Yeah, I love that. So we can set the height, though we never do, unless the cameras are on. But this is where we do all the publishing activity, where we lay out books, where we edit video, and answer emails, the fun stuff like that. And so this is, kind of that. And then we have projects sitting around. A lot of this stuff is, we have a book coming out on just really small projects called Smalls. And so we're all here in the editorial staff building little projects, things that you can put together with nails and just, a bow saw, a couple joinery tools, and make things really quick, with scraps and stuff. And that don't look like they're clunky kind of 2x4 stuff. So that stuff is where we are right now. So if you want to go back, we'll go toward the kitchen. We're really proud of our kitchen. When you have classes, you have to have a kitchen for people because they make a mess. And so we're really happy. This is where but this is also a working area. We make paint here, we make glue. We used to make some finish here on site. And so this also becomes like, a kitchen is actually kind of helpful for a woodworker without having to mess up our kitchen upstairs, and a dishwasher, because making glue is a real mess. But these were one of the other things that people always wonder about is I have wooden countertops throughout my house, and they're like, why don't you have granite or quartz? And I'm like, I'm a woodworker. It's a workbench. I want, it's fine if it gets a little beat up. It's going to look better. And so this gets pretty beat up, but I don't mind it. So. But these were the bar bathrooms, and they were so nasty. It was so nasty, but it was a bar. So speaking of bars, the other place, we'll go out here towards keep going, keep going, keep going. This is what we call the beer garden. So when this was a German bar, this back half, this wasn't here. And on the maps, this was listed as the beer garden all the way to the back of the property. So we call this the beer garden, even though there's no beer, there's no garden. But this is, kind of where we hang out when the temperature's nice. But this is also where we do finishing. So everything has a dual purpose, and also all of our scraps that go out for fuel. We make way too many scraps to burn them ourselves. And then the last room. I guess it's a garage, or was a garage. So this is a machine room, and this was probably the most work of all the things that we've done here in the last 10 years. This was, when we bought it, the doors were filled in with bathroom tile. This had been turned into an illegal house. You're basically standing where the bathroom was. And so we basically were removing 100 years of junk. This building was built in 1906. And then kind of trying to turn it into a place where we can just do, basic machine work. So we prefer, whenever we can, to have old machines. Obviously, we can't with the table saw because of, you really want to keep your fingers. So you're kind of a fool not to have that technology. But almost all the other machines are from the 50s or the 70s or the 80s, which I just really prefer. A couple exceptions. So we don't really do a lot of work in here. I mean, this is mostly just rough breakdown. We bring stuff in from the lumberyard or whatnot, break it down, and then it goes into the bench room for joinery and everything. I mean, this is basically getting the big stuff down to manageable for us, and storage of stuff. So this is our storefront. We're over at what we call the Anthe building. So this was a building that was built about 1890, 1895. And it hasn't changed much. This building, the family that had it until 2019, and we are the second occupants. So we've tried to do very little to the building except to make it habitable and clean it up. So this is the storefront area, and this was the offices for the Anthe building, but it also had been a store off and on when the Anthes moved their offices next door. It was a grocery store. It had been a million little things. But this is where we sell all our books. So we have pretty much everything that is currently in print on display on the wall back there. And then we also have all of our tools here in these displays for people if they want to take a look at those. And then we also have some tools like that we have been testing, these are blemish tools, or tools that someone like we are like a firehouse station, and that people will drop off their tools and just say, please just have this, and we'd get their orphan tools. So we usually just throw a quick price tag on it and try to get it in the hands of someone else. So we sell those here as well. But these are damaged books or books that came back or got hit by a forklift. So if you do come visit the store, there's always an opportunity to get some discounted titles. And so, yeah, right now we're only open about 3 days a week because we don't have enough staff to do everything. But we will eventually be open like a normal store, I think 5 or 6 days a week when we get our act together and get things stabilized. So we have a Holzapfel workbench here. So it's the workbench a-go-go here. And then the other fun thing is we have window displays, which we change out with different projects and different books. We have a book stand there from Peter Follansbee in the window. Rudy Ebert's, his green chair from a recent video is there. I built this lovebird cabinet from Eastern Kentucky. This is going to be in the Smalls book. And then I love this little miniature chair that Travis Curtis made, a miniature Jenny chair. But these take as long to make as a regular chair, but yeah, he gave that to us, and I love that. And then some of our tools too. So these are Exeter hammers. We assemble them here. A machine shop machines the head for us, and then we'll see a tool assembly upstairs.
Famous crucible dividers.
Famous crucible dividers, yeah, are the first thing we made, and still do well. This is from Larry Barrett with hickory bark. This is Chris Williams, who's a Welsh chair maker. Beautiful chair that I bought off of him. And so I like having other people's work here. Peter Follensby's joint stool. This is from the cover of Make a Joint Stool from a Tree. And we use the absolute heck out of this. It is, we love handmade furniture, so we also buy it. So I have Greg Pennington, one of his rocking chairs is up there, much nicer than anything I make. And then a bunch of other stuff that either we've gotten from other people. This is John Brown, the famous Welsh stick chair maker. This was a bow saw that he made. And this is, I have another bow saw, thank goodness, so I don't have to risk breaking that. Some cooperage from Williamsburg. This is from the Seton tool chest. I mean, a copy of it. Just a bunch of, you accumulate a lot of junk. And so we have this store for which to display it. So this is the storefront. And hopefully it'll be, like I said, open more often. But it's kind of sometimes a pilgrimage for people who stop by for a visit or whatnot, or a tour. We'll go back, we'll start in fulfillment. So this was the factory floor when this was Anthe Tool Works. So this is where they made shaper cutters. They made power carving tools here for more than 125 years. Pretty much we've left the room as it is, except for we've covered the original floor was here. They did not change anything. It was just like an absolute kind of time capsule, but we covered it with this tongue and groove OSB for our forklift and stuff, and also not to damage it. But everything is still here, so when we're dead, they can just take this floor up if they want to have it there. There was a line shaft here. The elevator, which is over here, was run off of the line shaft. The line shaft was here. The fan ran off the line shaft. All the equipment ran off of line shafts. And so when we had to get our elevator, it's just for people, not for people, it's just for books. When we got that repaired, the elevator guy said the only way he would take the job is if he would trade us for line shaft parts, because he repairs line shafts too. And so it was, he wanted the parts. So we did that, which, sucks, but we have a working, material lift now. So we can get books up and down. We have a basement and 2 floors above us filled with books. So this is, all of our books are pretty much on this wall here. So when an order comes in, Gabe and Mark, who's sick, we'll make pick sheets. It's just a very standard pick and pack operation. They go and they find the book, they find the t-shirt, they find the tools, package them all up and send them out. So we do about 33,000, 35,000 orders a year. That's 60,000 books or 60,000 products we ship every year. So it's a lot of work for them. So we have 2 people here, but everybody here, when it comes to Christmas time, everybody puts books in boxes, because that's what we do to make money. So I pick, Megan will pick, Kale and Catherine are even better, and they will also do packing. But it's, all hands on deck when it comes to putting stuff in boxes. But when we bought the building, there was no HVAC or anything, and so it's been a real challenge kind of making this usable without changing the character of it. So the walls were painted this color. This is what the joists look like. It's really not, the Anthe people would not, well, they do recognize it when they come in. So the family's still here and they'll visit sometimes. So this is our wax machine, which we're currently probably going to replace. It doesn't look very fancy, but it's a lipstick making machine. So if you want to make lipstick, this is the machine you would buy. And so all the ingredients go into the vat, and then you put in what temperature you want, and then it gets dispensed here. So we make soft wax, and we're just starting to sell that. That's one of our newer products. And we've made probably, I don't know, 500, 700 jars of it so far in the last couple months. But we're all about low toxicity, so this is like, it's so safe you can eat it. I mean, it's just beeswax, raw oil, and a little bit of citrus. So same with our glue. Our glue is made all with stuff from the grocery store, and the glue we actually make it at the other place because we need the kitchen and the dishwasher. So little stuff like that. Come on in. This is kind of the editorial office that we have here, but this is also tool assembly. So when we make hammers, that happens here with the arbor press and bandsaw work and basically just beating the hammer into life. So tool assembly here, some more editorial. We print out full-size plans for customers, so we have a plotter. And because we're publishing, we have a giant Japanese flatbed scanner. So when we do reprints, a lot of times we need to use an 11x17 scanner. But your basic kind of office, all of this, most of this is deactivated, but I didn't want to change. My goal here is to change as little as possible. So we're leaving all the factory stuff up, not trying to make it into a modern kind of Class A office space, but kind of respect the heritage of the building as much as we can. So this desk is fun. It's a copy, and so there's a company in Knoxville that takes the old castings and remakes them in China, and then they assemble them. So they do about 10 different desks. And this one, I don't think I have the bolts released, but you can. I guess I like things that go up and down. So this is moves this whole top up and down. So this is another one of the cool things. But they're very reasonably priced, kind of cool company. So just trying to help out another little company that has to survive like us. And then some more of our library, kind of some of our older stuff. And older books that we consult that we didn't have room for over at the Willard Street location.
How many books have you printed now?
Well, we've done 60 titles, but as far as like the whole number of books in 18 years, I think we are over 620,000 books total. So most publishers, we would be a blip on the radar. Like, that's nothing. That's what they would do in a quarter. And we've done it over 18 years. So we're tiny, tiny, infinitesimal, we're a gnat on the butt of publishing is probably the best way to put it. But for woodworking and for making a living, that has, supports 8 people. So that's something. And that's good.
Cool.
So if you want to come back here into the warehouse proper, piles and piles of books. This is what we do. This is most of our day is, hundreds and hundreds of boxes of titles, parts for tools on the walls, and boxes. And these are the original bathrooms. So when we bought this, it was a cast iron toilet in there. And one of the boxes above, a lead-lined box with a chain. Little scary for employees, so we've just upgraded. This is, I'm very excited. Yes, it's kind of weird what gets me excited. But having a bathroom up here is wonderful, yeah.
The egg and dart up
Yeah, so that's all tin. And so that's original to the building, yeah. So they still make this. Like, in fact, we have some sections that are broken and missing, and there's a company that still makes this exact egg and dart molding, and it's metal, and they still make it the same way. It's pressed, and you can order it in 3 and 6 foot lengths and put it up. So yeah, when we go to the 3rd floor, you'll see that's we're missing some pieces, and there's a piece back there that's fallen off. And then the most important piece of equipment up here is this big machine up here. This is a commercial dehumidifier. So with books are wood. And so you have got to be concerned about moisture content. So if the moisture content goes above 40% relative humidity, well, actually it's about 60%. We keep things at 40%, but once you get above 60 consistently and maybe even higher, that's when the boards and the pages start to warp and crinkle. So we have commercial dehumidifiers on all the floors to keep that humidity really low. So that's why we have to moisturize here. I mean, it's a very dry environment, and I will come back just absolutely parched, and I'm not a hand lotion guy, but I will slather my body in lotion if necessary. But yeah, so this is the second floor warehouse, and then the third floor warehouse upstairs is very much like this, but even more tightly packed. So this is, show you one other thing, one of the things I'm most proud of. This is our elevator shaft. So this is, this is original to the building, and we're told that this is the oldest functioning elevator with the original equipment in the area. And so the car is entirely made out of oak. The rails that the elevator runs on are oak. There's very little except for the cables and the bolts and some, this is a wooden project. So the floor is all wood. And so we move our books up and down to the floors, and it's all a manual process with buttons and gates. We've installed safety equipment. When it came here, it was working, but it didn't have didn't have these gates. So it won't work if the gates are up. And so it's this is yeah, it's our baby. So we have a lot of cardboard. Yeah. We go through a lot of cardboard, a lot of recycling. But what I love about this room, so this room someday, when we get our act together, I'll have my office up here, so the giant windows that overlook Covington. So I go into my villain era, and I'm gonna have spats and, an evil hat, and I will have make devious plans up here in my office. But for now, it's just books. But this is my favorite floor, just because the ceiling's so high, and the view is great when we don't have the plastic on the windows. But this is where we keep probably most of our inventory, is here on the third floor.
So there you have it. I absolutely had a blast, and it was fun taking my daughter there to see it as well. Had a great time hanging out with Chris and all of the things going on over there. My only regret is we didn't have more time to actually do a build or something like that in the shop. And we might do something like that in the future, so stay tuned. But if you want to find out more about Lost Art Press, Christopher Schwarz, and all the things going on over there, there's links to that down below. And I really do want to say a huge thank you for letting us come over and shoot that and hang out for the day. It really meant a lot. It was a good time to have my daughter there as well. So if you want to find out information, you know what to do down below. And if you want to go and see the interview, there's links to that down below as well. But if you do have any questions or thoughts or even snide remarks, throw those in the comments down below. I do love reading through those, and they do help out the channel. So anytime you are being angry at me for something, well, thank you. It does help us out when you put that down there. But if you really want to be amazing, click the little thank you button down there. Really, it does help out the channel because we are not sponsored by anyone. That's right, I don't have any mattress company or any other company out there telling me what to say, and I get to say what I want to say and go tour places that I want to tour and show off things that I want to show off. And that's because of all the people over there. Those are some of the patrons on Patreon. And between patrons and members and people who hit that thank you button, thank you. You guys make this channel happen. So if you want to find out more about that, there's links to it down below. And also, if you want to see Melody here, she has her own channel where she's doing woodworking now. So if you want to see that, I'll leave links to her channel down below. But I think that'll do it for now. And until next time, have a wonderful day.
Bye.
So when we went through the shop there, we did a tour. But you got to wonder, why is it called a tour? And that's because, well, if it were a threer, there would be three of us.